Manchester City grabbed their second consecutive win at Stamford Bridge to strengthen their bid to defend their Premier League crown. Watch until the end of this review to hear all of my thoughts on yesterday's match. Hello people, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. This is my review of the match that took place yesterday afternoon at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League between Chelsea and Manchester City, which Manchester City ended up winning by 1-0. So what I'm going to do for you guys in terms of this review is that firstly, I'll be giving you guys the lineup that Thomas Tuchel decided to go with at the start of the match. I'll then be giving you guys my thoughts on the match itself, and as always, I'll be breaking it down into the first half and the second half, and in addition to that, I'll be giving you guys my positives and negatives. Let me rephrase that. I'll be giving you guys the positives and the negatives that I took from the match, and lastly, I'll be giving you guys my thoughts on Chelsea's upcoming UEFA Champions League group stage match that will be taking place next Wednesday at the Allianz Stadium against Juventus, with kickoff at 8 PM UK time. So without further ado, let's get straight into this review. Let's get it over and done with. So we begin by looking at the lineup that Thomas Tuchel fielded at the start of yesterday's match against Manchester City, and as always, we're going to take a look at the formation that he decided to choose, and it was a surprise to me because of the fact that he hasn't often changed the formation from a 3-4-3/3-4-2-1. If I'm not mistaken, he's only ever done that three times during his time at the club. But yes, it was a 3-5-2 in terms of the formation. There were some Chelsea fans who were calling for that to be the starting formation, but in my preview, I personally felt as though it would have been better for us to go with a 3-4-3, and I'll explain in more detail as to why I felt as though it would have been better for us to go with a 3-4-3 when I give you guys my thoughts on the match. But yes, the formation was a 3-5-2. In terms of the personnel that Thomas Tuchel decided to go with, he went with Edouard Mendy in goal. He went with a back three of Cesar Azpilicueta, Andreas Christensen and Antonio Rudiger. He went with a midfield five of Reece James, N'Golo Kante, Jorginho, and He went with a midfield five of Reece James, N'Golo Kante, Jorginho, Mateo Kovacic, and Marcos Alonso, and that is of course including the two wing backs. I do apologise for that. And he went with a front two of Timo Werner and Romelu Lukaku. So that is the lineup that Thomas Tuchel fielded at the start of yesterday's match against Manchester City. We shall move on. We now move into my thoughts on the first half, and I have to say that while Manchester City put us under bags of pressure, I felt as though we were defending really well. Yes, we weren't really able to get any attacks going in the early stages of the match, but we were defending really well. We were getting in a lot of blocks, and we were stopping the ball from getting into the box from wide positions, and it was very good to see. But the only thing is that we really did struggle to distribute the ball to our forwards in the first half. I mean, yes, we did end up having the better chances at the end of the first half, but we really did struggle. We didn't really get too many chances to attack. But yes, a lot of people would say that we were really negative in the first half, but I do believe that it was necessary for us to play like that because Manchester City are a team that will put you under a lot of pressure. But anyways, on honestly, there really wasn't a lot to the first half in terms of clear cut chances. Neither side had a clear cut chance. Um, in the first. I mean, neither side had a shot on target in the first half. Sorry, there really wasn't a lot in the first half. Yes, Manchester City did put us under lots of pressure, as I've mentioned already, and we did see players go off with injuries, i.e., Reece James. I'm not even going to get into that because it's just unfortunate on Reece James's part. But yes, there really wasn't a lot. Timo Werner did have some chances of his own. He did win us a few corners. There was a piece of play where one of our midfielders, if I'm not mistaken, threaded the ball through to him, but he just couldn't get a goal side. And he tried to put the ball into Romelu Lukaku, but Romelu Lukaku did not get the ball because he got put off by one of the City defenders, of course. But yes, there really wasn't a lot to talk about in the first half. Neither keeper was really worked. Um, it was just the first half that was not full of clear cut chances whatsoever. And I did feel that overall it was an even first half, and it deserved to we deserved to go into the interval at 0-0. But one thing I will say is that I did feel as though we needed someone just in front of the central midfielders to link the play because we were really struggling to get the ball up to our strikers. Um, and that didn't happen in the second half until we went 1-0 down. And in terms of my thoughts on the second half, Jesus, honestly, guys, that second half was just, let me not summarize yet, but honestly, guys, the way we started that second half was disgusting. We just allowed Manchester City to penetrate us in all directions. We couldn't deal with it. They just kept coming at us, and in the 53rd minute, they got the goal. Um, Honestly, poor goal to concede, and it's just annoying because there was a lack of pressure on the ball when the ball was on the edge of the box in which we were defending. We were defending the shed end in the second half. But yes, poor the fact that we allowed Gabriel Jesus to get in to the box with the ball and shoot without pressing him is just unforgivable. To let a player who plays for Manchester City have so much time and space on the ball is just not forgivable. I'm sorry. It just shouldn't be happening. But Gabriel Jesus hit the ball, it took a deflection off of Jorginho and it nestled into the bottom left corner on his side. Edouard Mendy is he's absolutely not to blame for that. He had a lot of players in front of him and he wasn't expecting it to take a deflection because he was expecting the players to actually press the ball and get rid of it. But that just didn't happen and we paid the price for it. They had some glorious chances after that. Jack Grealish had a chance to double their lead, but Edouard Mendy made a really good save. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Give me a few seconds because I'm struggling to speak, as you guys can probably hear. But as the second half went on, yes, we did get the ball and try to start some attacks, but we just struggled to even keep the ball when we were attacking in the second half, and that is a feature of that was a feature of our performance yesterday. Yes, Thomas Tuchel did make some changes, and he brought on Kai Havertz for N'Golo Kante, Ruben Loftus-Cheek for Jorginho, and obviously he had to bring on Thiago Silva for Reece James because Reece James had to go off because his ankle got rolled, if I'm not mistaken, or he rolled his ankle to rephrase what I just said. But yes, I'm going to elaborate on my thoughts on the substitutions later on because I have something to say about them. Um, but yes, we really did struggle to get the ball into the box, and Manchester City just shut up shop towards the end of the match and did a professional job on us, and they left the bridge with a 1-0 win. Overall, it was a poor performance from us. Yes, I was an advocate of us containing them and hitting them on the counter attack, but I was not expecting us to be that poor on the ball. Um, and Manchester City deserved to win because they took their chance. They created the better chances in the end, especially in the second half. Let's be real. Um, and they punished us. It's as simple as that in terms of the positives and the negatives that I took from yesterday's match. Unsurprisingly, there's only one positive, and you're probably surprised by the fact that I managed to pick out a positive, because even I'm surprised by the fact that I managed to pick out a positive from yesterday's performance. But the only positive that I took from yesterday's match is the back three and Edouard Mendy. I thought they were the best players for us, Edouard Mendy especially. You cannot fault him for anything. Um, Honestly, it was just the rest was just poor. Yes, you can't really blame Timo Werner or Romelu Lukaku because the service was just non-existent, or next to non-existent. Our midfield was just something else yesterday. It was as poor as I've ever. It was as poor. Sorry, it was as poor as I've seen it under Thomas Tuchel. But yes, that's the only positive that I've taken from yesterday's match. The back three and Edouard Mendy. Anyways, we move on to the two negatives. The first negative that I took from yesterday's match is the fact that our strikers were so isolated and we ended up not having a single shot on target. That's all I'm going to say on that one because that one speaks volumes of how we played yesterday. The second and final negative that I took from yesterday's match is the fact that the tactics and the tactics and the substitutions were just wrong. Taking N'Golo Kante off when you're under pressure and in a position where you could concede more goals is just that was a wrong move. I felt as though Jorginho should have gone off because he kept losing the ball and he kept doing so because he did take too long on the ball. And it was just funny to see because funny in a bad way, by the way. It was just funny to see because he kept trying to take so much time on the ball when he was constantly getting pressed by the Manchester City players. But yes, it was good to see Ruben Loftus-Cheek come on, but I did feel as though the midfield pairing after the substitutions should have been, or the midfield partnership should have been Kai Havertz, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and N'Golo Kante, because you've got one attacking midfielder, one who can drive with the ball, and 1-6, someone who can break up play and distribute the ball. I really felt as though that should have been the final three, but honestly, it was just all wrong. And after the substitutions were made, I just knew that we lost the game. I'm not gonna say anything I'm not gonna say anything over the top like to call out or anything like that. He is the man for us. Yes, he made some mistakes yesterday, but he is a man that learns, and I'm sure he will learn because those substitutions were not good. But yes, those are the negatives I took from yesterday's match, and that is it for my thoughts on the match itself. Please, guys, do drop your thoughts on yesterday's 1-0 loss to Manchester City in the comment section below, and as always, I shall do my very best to respond. We move on. Now, we wrap up this review by getting into my thoughts on Chelsea's upcoming UEFA Champions League group stage match against Juventus at the Allianz Stadium, with kickoff at 8 p.m. UK time. Got down to the end. This is a great chance for us to bounce back. I expect the players to be angry after that performance yesterday, and if they are not fired up, I'd be very surprised. Yes, you can argue that yesterday's loss was good in the sense that it's a loss that has come at such an early stage of our Premier League campaign, but we still have to improve in terms of our performance because, like I've said already, it was not a good performance by any stretch of the imagination. But I am very much looking forward to this match. I'll be doing some videos before the match. I've got one of my friends coming on as a special guest. You'll probably know who he is because he's mentioned that he's Italian. But yes, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what lineup gets fielded at the start of the match. I'm looking forward to seeing how we play. I'm just looking forward to seeing how we respond to yesterday's defeat. But that's all I can really say. What I can add to that is that I do believe that we can win. It will be tough because Juventus do have some world class players in their squad, and they do have a world class manager in Max Allegri, if I'm not mistaken, anyways. But yes, I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be a tough challenge for us, but please, we have to go out there and get the job done, especially in a way that suggests that we have responded to yesterday's poor performance. But that's all that I can say. That is it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I didn't. Please do like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I shall see you all for some more videos. Come on, you Blues. Come on, Thomas Tuchel, and